Okay, so we have a another film from Dances with Films, right? But this time it's a documentary called Spiral. It is written and directed by Bill Guttentag. Okay, the film is produced by Jennifer Hutchins. It is executive produced by Jason French, Bill Guttentag, uh, Terrence Michael, Kiki Tieg, and Randall White. It is co-produced by Lila Schmidt, Lee Ruffenflew, Cameron Orney, um, Nancy Lloyd. David Kahn took care of the music. Randall White is on cinematography. Nick Bradford edits the piece. Visual effects, we have Sky Mahaful. And yeah, so we follow Michelle Cody White, Randall White, and their daughter Charlotte White through archival footage. And Michelle Trachtenberg, I'm never quite sure how to pronounce her last name, right? She does voiceover work for Michelle. Okay, so the gist is this, right? Spiral is a dramatic and powerful view of the toll that mental illness takes on one woman's life and family. The story is told through intimate home video footage. Michelle grows up in a tough, drug-fueled home in small-town Indiana, while Randy is from a loving military family from Alaska. They meet and quickly fall in love, but on the first day they're together, Michelle tells Randy, I come from a crazy family. Right? That's the yeah, that's how this all kind of starts. And we're introduced to this, right? Well, there's text at the beginning, right? Telling you that, it's tough. This is a film dealing with mental illness and there may be triggers, right? That's how we enter it. But then the first thing we see is Michelle and Randy together. They're out on a night out and they're professing their love to each other. But yeah, I don't know. There's something odd about it, right? There's something odd about it. And the more we see, the more kind of you're wondering, right? The more you find yourself wondering. And it's one of those situations where this is a difficult watch. It's a really, really difficult watch. And Spiral is the perfect name for it because it is a descent into oblivion, essentially. Right. And you're just wondering where it's going. Right. I mean, there's always a fear of where it's going. And I mean, going in, I didn't know that Michelle's voice isn't Michelle, right? I didn't know that it's Michelle Trachtenberg, right? I'm assuming this is Michelle voicing it. And so, you're wondering, right? Because you're just thinking, well, it can't, go where it could possibly go because we're hearing Michelle. But as it goes on, you're thinking this only ends one way, this isn't good. And it's I think there's so many things, right? You ponder because it's like with this descent and this repeated, you know, Ferris wheel that Michelle finds herself on, right? Because there's drug addiction, there's recovery, and then it's back to drug addiction. I mean, drug addiction never goes away, but it's that statement of I'm sober, right? I realize what's happened, I'm back. And then, in the blink of an eye, it's boom, back to where we were. And so it's harrowing, right? But also, um, Randall isn't great, right? Because you can see that he also is, a drug addict. He's also, it would seem, has mental health issues. So we're watching this whole car crash, and it's just like, I mean, nothing is great here, right? Nothing is great, but you kind of like, what did you expect? Right? What did you expect? Because when someone tells you, yeah, my situation is fucked up, and you're like, okay, that's cool, because that's fine. If you're like, so many people have issues, right? Their family, someone's estranged, like someone, you don't talk to them, you don't talk about a certain thing, you know what I mean? Or they're fine in small doses, or, never give them alcohol, you know what I mean? Like there's something a lot of the times, which is fine. But when you know the extent of a situation, it's just like, okay, that person can never be in this situation. And I feel it's just like when Misha has told Randall from jump, this is the situation, you're just like, okay, then these are the things we have to always avoid, right? This is what we need to do. Is I feel there's, although, I mean, it's tricky because I can't quite remember, but I think I've known about, right, like hereditary stuff for like, feel like since I was at school, right? You understood that like alcoholism can be in the family, right? And so with that, it's like, wait, no one put two and two together here, right? No one thought, okay, if Michelle's got bipolar and mental health issues, schizophrenia, just all of these different things in the family, it could be with her too, right? And these things don't always show straight away, or they're showing, but in a way that you're assuming they might be something else, but no one's made that assumption, which just seems crazy. And then the other crazy thing about it is it's all the footage, because this film is, there's no recreations. This is all done from home videos, right? Home videos, phone footage, social media posts. That's it, right? That's all the words we hear from Michelle are from her social media and diaries. Right? So there is so much there, but you kind of be like, wait, why would you film this stuff? Because there's stuff here that is not great. I mean, it's none of it's great, technically, right? But you're just like, what? Why? Why are you filming an argument? Right? Why are you filming like some of this stuff? And we've got stuff. Michelle says at one point, Randall's like, "Oh, she thought she married someone else with I think it's bipolar or mental illness, but she doesn't even realize I'm just mad, right? And I will kill to save my daughter. I will kill." And you're just like, yo, right? And it's not said in like there's ways in which you can say things, but it's kind of said in a way where you're just like, I think my man's having an episode too, right? You get the sense like, yeah, he kind of probably would at that moment in time. So you have so much footage, but it's all damning, right? No one comes out of this looking great. And you just be like, poor Charlotte, right? Poor Charlotte, because I think her being so young, maybe a lot of this doesn't affect her, right? You just think she might, just not remember how bad and crazy some things might have gotten. But now there's this, hard copy of it all that is there now. It's in the ether. And her friends, right? Her future boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, that their family may have seen it, right? It's there. And that's gotta be rough as hell. I mean, what Bill has done is, you know, great for what he had to work with. It's great at putting this story together and showing us this tragedy, because that's what it is. It's a tragedy. He did a really good job of crafting this and, just taking us on this emotional ride, because it's emotional, people. It really friggin' is. But, oh man, it's just tough. It's really friggin' tough. At the end, right, we get this card going. Like, this isn't necessarily the norm. This is a extreme case of mental illness, but to be honest, I don't know if it is. You know what I mean? I think there's a load of people going through similar situations, and it's just because obviously resources need to be better, but it's like with, Michelle signed herself out of rehab several times because you can do that, right? That's the thing. It's just like this, and none of this like rehab or anything. It doesn't work unless a person wants it to. But when someone is so deep in the weeds, I don't necessarily want it to, right? So that's what makes all of this so tough, so bad. Oh man, I mean, it's really worth the watch, right? To get an understanding of where all of this can go, right? It's one of those things that you feel should play in schools, right? Because it's what could happen to people. And the thing being, right? Maybe this isn't as bad if he wasn't heavy into the drugs. Because, and when I say drugs, I'm talking everything, right? So the oxys, the alcohol, the meth, the coke, I am just everything, the whippets, just everything. even the nicotine, right? Like, if she didn't get on all of those things, maybe it like the mental illness isn't as exasperated, right? And she doesn't spiral as bad as she does. Maybe, but who knows? It's just something that I think people should understand, right? So you can see signs, potential signs, and you can help those people around you. You can walk someone back from like going that deep. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. I don't. But Spiral is having its world premiere at Dances with Films, right? At the TCL Chinese 6 theaters, right? So it's playing at 2:45 on Saturday, the 29th of June. So if you're in LA, if you're in the area, go check it out or follow, their website, their social media for screenings and distribution. Um, so you'll know if it's playing somewhere with you. But it's definitely Spiral is most definitely worth a watch, people. But be warned, this is tragedy on the screen. This is sad. This is really fucking sad and harrowing and crazy. But boy, it's worth the watch. Spiral.